Of the more than 1400 food challenges that Randy Santel has attacked, he has won as many as 1293. But today we take a look at the challenges that Randy has lost, whether it's because of the portion size, the time limit, or because the challenge is just impossible. Here are 10 challenges that the King of Food Challenge failed to overcome. One of the first challenges he lost was the undefeated Popple's Burger Challenge in Scotland. A massive burger with several sides, 5 burger patties, 12 slices of cheese, pulled pork and 8 rashers of bacon, a side of steak potato fries, a side of sweet potato fries, a side of coleslaw, side salad, 6 super spicy liquid magma chicken wings, and last of all, an ice cream milkshake. Quick side note, the magma wings are covered in a 350,000 Scoville hot sauce. And to put this in perspective, a jalapeno pepper is 8,000 Scoville. We know from reliable sources that Randy is not a fan of spicy food.
So, as all of you know, I don't like spicy stuff, but they're part of the challenge.
Randy had an hour to complete the challenge, and he started out strong. After 25 minutes, the burger was almost completely gone. But then he started to slow down, and around minute 51, things went completely wrong. Even before he could start the spicy wings, he couldn't keep the burger down, and his first filled wall of shame was a fact. But this wasn't the only challenge Randy lost because of the gigantic amount of food. During the months of July and August of 2015, Randy was on a food challenge tour in the UK. On day 40 of this tour, he tried to beat the Kraken Burger Challenge, which consisted of the following. There is a triple patty burger topped with bacon, cheese, hash browns, veggies and sauce. Then there are 8 large chicken wings, a side of coleslaw and a massive pile of their dirty fries covered with blue cheese dressing. Challengers have only 45 minutes to finish the entire platter. Again, he started the challenge strong, with only the loaded fries left and over 15 minutes on the clock. But at minute 40, he had to throw in the towel. He claimed to have lost the challenge due to bad timing on his part. Truth be told, I should never have attempted a challenge this large this late in the trip. My stomach and body weren't exactly in peak condition due to the previous 40 days of consecutive eating challenges. I felt bad for not attempting it during my 2013 tour when they asked me to. 2 years later, he took revenge by eating the burger in 36 minutes. And by losing this challenge by sheer volume, his next loss is by something completely different. Marshall's legendary 72-ounce steak challenge in Mississippi is, as the name of the challenge describes, a 72-ounce steak with various side dishes that must be eaten within the hour to win.
We've got a healthy side salad. We've also got a lot of calories in this loaded baked potato. That is a giant steroided out potato. That's going to be yummy. We've got 4 of their breads, which I've been looking at those since I got here. They look amazing. We got some butter there. And then we've got 6 of their shrimp.
Only 7 people out of 40 attempts won this challenge. And although Randy was well on his way to dominating the challenge, having eaten almost the entire steak around the 30-minute mark, Randy still failed to eat it all in time, and he explained exactly why this was.
That was a lot of steak. I had some troubles chewing quite a bit of it, but that's not a good excuse because that was a great knife. So just got to come back another time when I'm feeling better, and I'll probably get the steak a little bit more on the rare side next time.
Despite the fact that losing this challenge was partially his fault, the next fail is definitely not. Randy Santel teamed up with Jack Diamond to eat a 12-pound Mexican torta sandwich. The duo had an hour to do this, and considering the size of the challenge, this certainly wasn't much. Right from the start of the challenge, you can see that Randy starts fast immediately, but his teammate Jack takes his sheer time, and after more than 3 minutes, Jack is still working on his first piece. This continues through the entire video, and just before they dominate the challenge, Jack can't keep his food down, which results in another picture on the wall of shame for Randy. The comments from this video aren't pretty either for Jack. Who else is dying to know what the hell Jack was staring at for the first 3 minutes of this video? Poor Jack didn't look like he knew where or what he was doing from the start. But just because he lost this challenge due to his teammate, he lost the next challenge just because it's literally impossible. In 2019, Randy uploaded a challenge called the Undefeated Indian Jalebi Challenge. Looks doable, you would say, for someone like Randy, but wait until you hear how much time you have to eat this.
10 short minutes to finish this thing.
10 minutes to eat something is very little anyway, and especially when you know that this dish weighs 1 kilogram, and the comments this time were not tender either. That should be 15 minutes, not 10 minutes. I don't know if that's even possible for 10 minutes. You'd have to be a super pro. Later, apparently the time limit was also raised because it was just sheer impossible. I remember on Facebook he tried again and they gave him 15 minutes, because 10 clearly was impossible. And despite the very short time limit, it only comes down to seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1. Stop.
Which certainly cannot be said about this challenge. One of his most recent defeats is this one, Wisconsin's largest breakfast challenge. Note that this title contains the word rematch. Randy had tried this challenge once before and failed in January of 2023, and according to him, the challenge was even bigger than it was then. The pancakes were made even bigger for me this time as compared to the pancakes in 2023, and they added an extra piece of bread as well. The new sausages were even chewier than the ones in 2023, and this time there was no extra space at all on my tray. Despite this, Randy still put up a fair fight, but he ended up having a lot of food left when the 45 minutes passed. And apparently, Randy does not learn from his mistakes, because a few years earlier he had tried another breakfast challenge. This challenge consisted of the following. This challenge included 5 fried eggs, 5 black pudding, 5 sausages, 5 rashers of bacon, 5 hash browns, 5 huge pieces of toast, mushrooms, tomatoes, beans, rice, and a dense 5-egg omelette filled with chicken and cheese. All this breakfast food had to be finished within 30 minutes. All that food didn't deter him, and around the midpoint he was still right on track. But then the amount of food kicked in and he started to slow down, eventually having to throw in the towel and blame himself for that.
I didn't really look into this challenge before I really did it.
Fortunately, he only lost 15 quid as a result, which in this challenge was just a little more. With the reopening of the Milk Road Coffee, Randy was invited to a big waffle eating challenge to promote the opening of the establishment. He had 40 minutes to finish this meal, but eventually failed, losing him a whopping $90 for the meal. $90 for waffles? There should be 10 pounds of bacon with that. $90 just for waffles and coffee? Yikes. Whoa, $90 is a lot to pay for waffles. That cost like $3 a box to make. Let's move on to a slightly more unique challenge that Randy Santel also got small. Back in 2019, he tried a challenge with a very creative name, the giant Vietnamese Pho King Challenge. There are 3 different cuts of beef totaling 24 ounce. Then there is a 21 ounce of pho noodles, along with some healthy vegetables to serve inside a bowl, with around 1 gallon of pho broth. Despite having an hour to complete the challenge, Randy had to give up after 39 minutes to avoid further trouble.
39 minutes in, gotta know when to hold them and when to fold them, and got overconfident on this one. So, if I have another bite, I'm gonna throw up, and I don't wanna do that.
Until this day, he does have to face the rematch, see if he can then become the Pho King. And although he admits here that he lost fair and square, this is certainly not the case with the next challenge. In his 2017 Australian tour, Randy tried to eat a massive kebab. Shouldn't normally be a problem until you read how much time he was given for this.
The challenge is I have only 8 minutes to finish this thing. If I fail, it's 26 Australian dollars.
Despite the fast eating and virtually no talking between the challenge, which he usually does, he fails to eat everything within the time limit. And you can clearly see that Randy is really not satisfied with the result. That was a very bitter Randy Santel right there. Lol, I think this is the first time I've seen him mad, but people also appreciate that it's not just the wins he posts. I really respect that Randy posts his losses. It could be so easy just to only show his wins. And seeing Randy fail a challenge once in a while. So let's move on to one of the more crazy challenges that managed to get Randy on his knees. To help kick off a new food challenge, Randy and his girlfriend, Katina, both tried a new 15,000 calorie challenge that consisted of 14 different cookies and 3 scoops of Italian gelato ice cream. 14 cookies and 3 scoops of ice cream within an hour should normally be no problem for an experienced eater like Randy. but he himself described this video as one of the craziest challenges I've ever done. Both he and Katina unfortunately failed the challenge, and thus they were not the first people on the wall of fame either.